Welcome, my name is Brandon. Please join me on this tour of the North Grand Mall in Ames, Iowa. North Grand was built in the 1970s and is thriving today. While much of the mall has been given a facelift, there are a few areas that still look like the 1970s. I am also excited to share this mall, as after all of the dying medium-sized malls I have visited, it is great to see one that is doing well. However, there was a time when North Grand was going downhill. It was down to one anchor, and its appearance was rather dated. Since the mall is doing better today, I thought it would be fun to change up the usual mall video format. Instead of comparing footage of a dead mall to old photographs of its former glory, I'm going to compare North Grand to photographs taken by Nathan Bush in the early to mid 2010s. Let's get started with mall history. The original developer, General Growth Properties, opened North Grand Mall in 1971 with 4 anchors: JCPenney, Sears, Yonkers, and Woolworths. The mall also contained a 2-screen movie theater called Cinema 1 and 2, located to the left of the entrance we walked through at the beginning of the video. And here is where the story takes a large leap. I could not find much history about the mall other than an old map from 1971, so let's jump ahead to 1988. At the end of the 1980s, Cinema 1 and 2 closed due to competition from large cinemaplexes in the area, but that didn't keep movies out of the mall for long. In 1991, the mall had its first renovation. 2 years later, Woolworths closed, along with several hundred other locations across North America. A movie theater called North Grand 5 opened in the back of the old Woolworths anchor in the mid-1990s. A long hallway was added to give patrons access to the theater. A few years after opening, the theater was converted to a discount theater and remained open until 2014. Speaking of the 21st century, the first signs of trouble for North Grand started to occur. If you have watched other videos, including my own, you may have guessed what is coming next. Another mall, a lifestyle center. Ah, TBone. I have a weird fascination with this ride. Why is that? 2 days after visiting this mall, I received a notification that Unicom Productions had released a new video. Oh, right! I rushed back to my hotel to watch. In Kristen's new video, there was TBone! While splicing Kristen's footage with my own video, I was shocked that the 2 T-bones were painted differently. I had assumed that these were all cookie-cutter rides, but now I see TBone everywhere. I last saw him at Maplewood Mall a few weeks ago. And with that, let's get back to mall history. In 2002, developer James Bucky Wolford, who officed out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, announced plans to open the Shops of East Prairie, literally to the east of the busy Interstate 35 in a prairie. A new movie theater and several other anchors were announced: Barnes & Noble, Bed Bath & Beyond, Dillard's, JCPenney, Old Navy, and Yonkers. Things were not looking good for North Grand. With the assumption that JCPenney and Yonkers could move out, the only anchor to remain would be Sears. But the fact that you are watching this video kind of lets you know that East Prairie never opened. East Prairie is still a prairie. So what happened? An article from the Des Moines Register from 2006 states that despite the lifestyle center's approval at the end of 2005, some newly elected city council members had different ideas. They had been listening to locals' complaints for the last 4 years. While a mall by the interstate would be great for passers-by, it would be terrible for downtown retail and North Grand Mall, as well as other businesses in surrounding cities. People were also tired of seeing more and more farmland lost to sprawl. The following year, GK Development, who now own North Grand, had their own plans to add a lifestyle addition to the current mall, with construction to begin in 2007. But that never happened. Instead, Sears closed in 2008, leaving a large tenant that was only used a couple months a year for Halloween stores. In 2011, any dreams of a new mall in Ames faded. The now dumpy-looking North Grand Mall would continue to live, but for how long? Despite losing its competitor, plans were in the works to spruce up North Grand. In 2012, the owners demolished the old Sears building and built a new structure made of multiple external-only tenants and one tenant, TJ Maxx, with internal mall access. In 2017, the mall continued to improve. 3 developers purchased the mall and started putting money into it, including a facelift to the front of the building. I will be honest, the dead mall fan in me misses the old green sign, but I appreciated the entrance upon my first visit. It gave the vibe of a place with open tenants, which is what you want in a mall. In addition to the facelift, new owners of the theater invested $1 million to remodel the closed North Grand 5 theater, turning it into a luxury theater with reclining seats. In 2018, Yonkers closed when the parent company filed for bankruptcy, leaving a large empty anchor in the mall. But that didn't stop the remodel. Not long after its closure, Planet Fitness took a small bite out of the old Yonkers space, but there is still quite a bit left. How many more years will the space be a temporary home to Spirit Halloween? As we can see in the footage, the boring hallway to the movie theater was given a fun paint job, and the mall owners placed modern tables and chairs in the area. They branded the spot South Commons and encouraged people to hang out with friends or even use the space for virtual meetings. How 2020s. So here we are today. North Grand Mall survives and the big bad lifestyle center never came to be. I call that a happy ending. Right? Right? Some people may disagree. Let me share commentary about other malls in nearby towns. In the Des Moines Register article I discussed earlier, I neglected to share the towns mentioned that would have been hurt by the lifestyle center: Boone, Marshalltown, and Fort Dodge. Boone is about 17 minutes away from Ames, so a large mall could have hurt local business. Marshalltown is 35 miles east, and Fort Dodge is over 60 miles to the northwest. Marshalltown and Fort Dodge both had malls at the time. In addition to North Grand, a large lifestyle center could have killed off Marshalltown Mall and Crossroads. Unfortunately, those malls suffered even without the never-built East Prairie. Marshalltown is dying today, and Crossroads was closed, and if not demolished yet, is damaged beyond repair. Residents of Marshalltown and Fort Dodge have to drive all the way to Des Moines to shop at large malls. A large shopping destination in Ames could have cut mall trips by anywhere from 20 to 30 miles, or 40 to 60 miles round trip. What do you think? I'm always glad to see a mall turn around, but would a lifestyle center have been better suited to the needs of the community? I've read a lot of negative comments about North Grand from Iowa residents. Even as late as 2020, I saw someone who considered this mall on a death watch. I would love to hear your opinions. And now, it's time to wrap up this visit. Thank you for joining me on this tour of North Grand Mall in Ames, Iowa. Oh, one more thing before we go. Look at this JCPenney. Nothing special about it, just customers going in and out, going about their day. But let's compare it to the abandoned location at Five Lake Center in Fairmount, Minnesota. They're basically the same building, but man, the Fairmount location just give me the willies, probably because it was abandoned. Okay, I'm done for real now. I hope you have a great day. Take care.